Let's take a quick tour of the Windows Snipping Tool. I use it a lot for tutorials and for showing folks where specific things are on the computer. You can use it too. Let's start by searching for the snipping tool. I'll go to the magnifying glass to search Windows. I'll type in Snip, and then snipping tool should show right up. We'll open it up by clicking. And now we see our options. If you want to just make a new snip, you can just click on new right away. But what I would suggest is perusing your options by clicking on the little black arrow next to it. So clicking on the black arrow, I get a freeform snip, a rectangular snip, a window snip, or a full screen. Full screen snip would take a picture of the entire screen, including my toolbars. The window snip would take just a quick picture of whatever window I click on at the moment. Rectangular snip lets me draw a rectangle on the screen. Freeform snip lets me draw with my mouse what kind of capture area I'd like, and I can make it a little bit more funky, I suppose. The other option here is to delay your snip, which is great if you're trying to take a screenshot of a menu within a window. Sometimes those menus will go away once you kind of click away or move your mouse away. So having the delay feature lets you delay a snip so that you have time to open the window and then it grabs a capture of it. To use that delay feature, you're going to have to do a couple of things. The first of which being telling the snipping tool how long you want it to wait before you get an option to actually screenshot something. I'm going to choose 3 seconds. I think 3 seconds will be enough time for me to get to the menu I need to open and open it before I take a screenshot. So click on 3 or whatever time you decide, and then when you click new, it'll delay a little bit. So I'm going to click on the blue new button, and what I want is that little menu that pops up right there. So now I have my crosshairs, so I can actually create my screen capture of that menu pop-up. I find that I use rectangular snip the most often. The ability to just click and drag and draw the area that I want to be screenshotted is the most convenient for me. So after you actually grab a screenshot, you have some options, some little things that you can do. There are some limited ink options here. You can grab a little bit of an ink pen so you can do a little markup if there's a particular area you'd like to highlight. You could actually use the highlighter tool and do that as well. You can highlight certain things in the snip that you've created. And all of these things can be saved as files. The little save disk here lets you save it as an image file anywhere you'd like, or you can just simply copy that snip to the clipboard and then really paste it inside any Google Doc or Word doc or really any other document or space that you need to. Even into your email as well, so you can share screenshots of important things with your colleagues via email. You can erase as well if there's an ink part that you don't really want to have on there. You can click the little eraser tool to get rid of those things. So what could you actually use this for in the classroom? I like to think of the snipping tool as a way to bring content or questions that is pre-made and preset in a static way into some of the more dynamic, interactive documents or games that you create. And one of those games that I love the most is Kahoot. And we know as users of Kahoot, we know that we can have images as questions in our Kahoot. So one thing that I like to do is go and grab sample questions from past state assessments and put them into a Kahoot, at least to make practicing for state assessments a little bit more interesting and exciting. Anything you really attach to a Kahoot is going to be more exciting and interesting. So in this case, I'm using the snipping tool to actually grab a question from a PDF sample assessment. I'm going to save that file as question 1, and now I can go back to Kahoot and actually upload that image as a question. So I don't have to worry about putting a table in or being able to put a table in or a graph or something like that. I can just use the image as the question. So there it is. There's the image up on the screen after I edited it in, and that's what's going to show up on the screen for my students. And the rest of my job will be to give them multiple choice answers to choose based on the question. Now, it does say up there that question text is required, so what I like to do is just type in, like, please answer the following question, or please answer this, or solve, some kind of little text that just satisfies the requirement of having something. So that's it, the snipping tool. The snipping tool is going to be something that you're going to find yourself using a lot. Screenshots are pretty useful. So if you go into the search bar in Windows and type in snip, that the snipping tool will come up, and if you want, you can save it right to your toolbar for easy access. access, right-click on the snipping tool that pops up there, pin it to your taskbar, and now whenever you need it, it's always going to be living right down there on your toolbar. So enjoy snipping.